auth. That's it, right? Well, this system has been, by default, has been installed with Laravel since the beginning, all right? It's just been there. The only thing that we had to do was activate it by creating views, all right? So we already have a controller called auth controller. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. And that controller makes sure that we can create and validate everything, all right, that has to do with authentication, all right? And I'll show that to you in a minute. But just know that we have built this, we have put it together really quickly, right? But I'm going to show you a couple things because I want you to be aware of how it works. I want you to be aware that you can do this from scratch, and we're probably going to do that in a couple lectures after this. We're going to try to build a very simple login system from scratch. Not all the way from scratch, because Laravel, you can, with Laravel, the whole thing is this. You don't have to build everything from scratch. Many other things are built for you, but we're gonna get very close to building it from scratch, okay? Because I want you to understand the foundation of a login system with Laravel. But anyway, so one of the first things that I want you to know in this lecture here is that we got this created for us when we did the make auth command, and this created for us. All right, we had a home controller for our views, and we have this routes. You see this little function right here creates a whole bunch of routes that we need. I'll show you what I mean with routes. All right, PHP artisan route list, enter. And if you check your routes now, you should have a whole bunch of routes that this thing created for us. All right, look at all the routes right here. All right, so now if you take that off like this, you see that? All right, so that's what the little function is doing. Pretty cool stuff. They make it a lot easier. If not, you would have to do this manually, and that's a pain to do this manually. All right, cool. All right, so that's the first thing he's doing. The second thing, of course, right? One of the things he's doing is that he created these folders with his files inside. And let's go inspect one of these files. All right, we're not going to inspect every one of them because the principle is the same. All right, so I'm gonna show it to you like this. All right, so this is the login.blade file. We have some blade functionality. We have some, of course, this is all blade. It has the curly brackets, but we have the errors here. That is the variable that's available to us in the whole application. All right, so it's checking to see if it has an email error, right? If he has an email error, it's gonna actually put a class has error in that field. So that's gonna go red. So let's say, for example, so if we don't put anything there and we do this, we get this has error class inserted there. So pretty cool stuff. It gives you an idea on how to do this. All right, this is an itinerary here, like an if condition. All right, so that's all he's doing here is checking to see if if it has the same error again. If it does, what can we do about it? And it displays here the all right, that help block. All right, more stuff in here. I mean, it's just checking for error, guys. This is the login. All right, and we probably have a similar functionality for registration as well. Okay, very simple stuff. All right, nothing big. All right, let's go back here. What else can we see? We have a home. All right, so now let me just go and log into this application and show you something else. So right now you see that every time we log in, we get redirected back to the index. All right, and this is the home.blade.php file. As you can see, it says logged in. Okay, now how can we manage this? How can we get redirected somewhere else? Because you don't want to always get redirected to the to the home page, right? Well, we deal with something called the auth controller. Okay, so let's go to HTTP controllers, and auth it's in its own folder. Let's double click it, and this is the controller that authenticates and register users. Okay, as you can see, we have a property here that is assigned to that. This is after you get redirected. After you log in, you get redirected to the root because that's a forward slash. That's what it means. So if you wanted to go redirected to admin, you go this. You go like this. All right. Cool. It's doing a lot of functionality. If you look at it, it just makes sense. Everything in Laravel is just look at the validator here. Makes sure that validates the user. Okay. You can change this. This one creates the user for registration, right? So this is very simple stuff, and you can modify it if you want to do something when the user registers or logs in. Okay, of course you got the password controller there, and we're just passing a middleware guess to it in the construct. Okay, and again, if you want to go ahead and log it and dig deeper into this, command or control click. All right, let's go to this one. Looking, getting into that one as well. All right. So that don't worry about this stuff too much. It has a lot of complexity. First, learn how to build projects and how to get very familiar with Laravel. Practicing and practicing. Then you start digging deeper into it once you know how to use the framework. Okay. But if you know OOP, it's just common sense. If you're beginning, this can get very overwhelming. Okay. So now let's go and inspect something else real quick. If we go to PHP My Admin and we go to the Laravel login system users, you gotta notice that we got this remember me token. Okay. All right. This is the token that gets inserted when you use that functionality. So if I go like this, let's go to the login system again. Enter. We are logged in. I'm gonna log out. Log in again. Let's just do this real quick. And now let's have this in handy. Let's just look at this. 5G6, that's the first. There we go. Now let's refresh that. You can see that remember me token change. All right, that's the token that gets inserted every time we click on that little thing there. All right, so that's a remember me token. That means if I close out my browser, I'm gonna close out all my Chrome browser and I come back to that login. And if you do this without doing that remember me, that's not gonna work. You know that. Log in. As you can see, we are still logged in. So we even have that functionality there. Let's go back out. Let's log in. And if you forgot your password, we also have a password reset link functionality. All right. Now we do have to set up our email for that. So that's super simple. But anyway, thank you so much. And I hope this little tour into what's going on here was okay for you. All right. Again, I'm gonna always give you resources at the end of the sections or lectures. Always make sure that you check for links so that way you can dig deeper into this functionalities. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next lectures.